I think in 2020, what we saw was, right, it's not just about whether or not you have a retirement account. It's really about the entire right system underlying social insurance and financial security and economic security. So, so for instance, what happened with women, right, and increased rates of unemployment among women, and due to the, right, what was happening in childcare and the loss of childcare, and and the childcare industry is imploding right now, and then at the same time, oftentimes like having to take care of seniors in their households who maybe didn't feel safe bringing right care workers into their homes. And that has long-term repercussions, both in terms of their earnings, right? It's probably going to be a decade or lifelong sort of downward right pressure on their earnings, right, and their retirement accumulations. So that's one piece. And then I think about sort of what we saw and didn't see in terms of government stepping up to expand these social insurance systems. So one example is pandemic unemployment assistance, right? Where, self-employed workers, including gig workers, who were not eligible for all kinds of benefits, all of a sudden government realized, oh, we need to actually pay attention to this group and create a program just for them. And incidentally, I was encouraged to see this week, Senate Democrats, Wyden and Warner and some other people dropped an unemployment insurance reform bill, which has got all kinds of interesting things in it, like inclusion for unemployment insurance purposes of self-employed workers, right, by the companies that pay them. So unless they, using the ABC simplified test that California passed before Uber and Lyft just overturned it. So so I'll save that for later, but it brought up all kinds of questions about the policy choices that we can make about who gets benefits and who doesn't. And at the same time, a lot of people were left out, right? It was great to have these supercharged unemployment benefits, both for the regular system and then the PUA. But in California, right, huge group of people, undocumented immigrants, were left out. And the states just don't have the fiscal mechanisms to actually provide adequate benefits, right? So California, I think, did a benefit of a few $100s, right? Which is really just nothing compared to the extent of the need, especially given that these were the workers who are most likely to be infected by COVID, right? Most likely to be economically displaced. And then finally, kind of going back to retirement, older workers, right? So we have this, we've been encouraging people, work as long as you can, right? Delay Social Security claiming so that you can maximize that benefit. And we saw, unemployment, higher unemployment among older workers who were basically by policy, right, pushed out of the labor force because it wasn't safe for them to be in sectors like retail, right, or in gig work as Uber drivers or whatnot, where older workers tend to be concentrated, right? They're concentrated in service jobs. So, and so that's going to have, again, like very long-term consequences for the workers who had to dip into Social Security earlier than planned because they're getting reduced benefits. So I think that it highlighted sort of opportunities and the fact that it's really a matter of sort of policy, right, government policy, social policy, and political will, whether or not we provide adequate benefits to certain groups of workers.